Hi guys, it's Steve from Disruptive World Creation. Just want to say a big thank you for helping me hit the 300 subscriber mark. A few weeks back, I got together with Kay from Invest for Tomorrow with Kay and Nora from the Stock Explorer, and we asked Manos from Money, Whiskey and Coffee if you could only invest in one stock, which would it be? Here is the clue to which stock Manos chose. Today we are looking at mining stocks. At which level can you invest in them? Whether they are a good investment, and why Manos thinks Rio Tinto is a good buy. Stay to the end and I'll give you a comprehensive list of mining stocks to look at. When it comes to mining, there are two types of investor. The first one is the junior mining investor. This investor invests in mining at the very beginning. In other words, when geologists are prospecting, exploring, drilling and sampling, and finally when they're doing a feasibility study to see if it's worth getting the minerals out of the ground. If it's good news, the shares will go up. If it's bad news, the shares will go down. This is where a lot of money can be made or lost by the junior investors. If you are a major mining stock investor, you need to be looking and asking yourself the following questions. Is the company well established? Does it have worldwide operations? What does its business model look like? Who are its competitors? What kind of management team does it have? And finally, what are the risk-reward factors in investing with this company? Right, so now let's ask Manos from Money, Whiskey and Coffee why he would invest in Rio Tinto.
So I took the approach of if I could only have one stock in my portfolio and that would be it. What would that stock be? So I set out some criteria. It had to be a big company. It had to be well established. It doesn't need to be well known, but it has to be well established. So quite a few years in the market. It has to pay a dividend because it's the only stock I'll ever hold. And it has to have something that everybody needs, even if they don't know that they need it. So my next question was, is it going to be services or is it going to be something physical, like a physical product? Now, services do need physical products in order to be possible. So I went with something physical. Then my question was, is it going to be something like a computer? Is it going to be a car? Is it going to be a phone? Because these are things we need in our lives, in our modern lives anyway. But then I took it a step further and I said, okay, how do you make all those things? And you need to have materials to make all those things. And that's why I chose a mining company. I chose Rio Tinto, actually. And one of the reasons I chose Rio Tinto was actually for tax reasons as well. It's dual listed. It's listed in the UK and in Australia at the same time. So any dividends I would be receiving from Rio Tinto, they would not be taxed. If I'm investing in Rio Tinto through a stocks and shares ISA account, if it was a US company, I would have to pay 15% tax on any dividends received. And in terms of what they are mining, they're mining iron, which we need iron to make steel for ships, buildings, bridges, and all that. They mine aluminium, which we use it for cars and airplanes, heat exchangers. They mine copper. They mine borates that are used to create boron, which is used in fertilizers, and renewable energy and heat-resistant glass that is used on smartphones. They mine lithium, which we use in our batteries. They mine titanium dioxide, which is used in airplanes and airplane engines in particular, and also medical applications. Like hip replacement joints and things like that, also in sports equipment, in paints, They also mine diamonds. I don't really care about diamonds, but apparently they are forever. And they also mine salt, but not your typical table salt. Salt is also used in industrial applications to create glass, paper, plastics, detergents, and things like that. So that's why I went with Rio Tinto as my only stock pick.
Manos say that he doesn't care much for diamonds.
Diamonds are forever.
Okay, guys, so let's get back to the financials.
Okay. Now, for Manos, let me ask you, since it's a dividend-paying company, you're saying they're paying 11%. That's a pretty high dividend yield, don't you think so?
Sweet.
Yeah, it is quite high as a dividend yield. Now, Google Finance says 8.72. Some other sites say something like 10%. Barron's.com quotes 11.08. So that fluctuates depending where you look that company. But they did. I have to admit they didn't have a consistent paying. How can I say? Track record. It is unstable. If you look at the report on Simply Wall Street, they mentioned that as part of their negatives. Let's say that they don't have a steady record. They're not like a dividend aristocrat that they did dividend payments over the last 30 years.
Got it. So as investors, we should so people who are actually dividend investors, they should keep that in mind, that this stock, even though it's paying dividends, it's a very high yield on dividends, and this is not, it doesn't fall into your dividend aristocrats or other categories. No. So yeah,
that they never miss their.
Now let me. Any other questions for Rio Tinto, guys? Steve, Nora, what are your thoughts?
My comments on Rio Tinto. It's a good, solid company. It's got a good track record. It's got good cash flow. It's got good profits. And the fact that it diversifies, that is good for me as well, because, you have different price changes in materials. So yeah, it's got a good plus signs. I suppose if there was going to be one negative, it might possibly be environmental concerns. But as an investor, it's just one of those things. You have to put up with it because, you have to mine and, you will have problems. But yeah, it's a good, solid company. So finally, guys, here are the names of a few companies you might want to look at. Albermale, SQM, Piedmont Lithium, Livent Corporation, Talon Metals, Nouvelle Monde Graphite, and finally Rio Tinto. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a like, and if you'd like to see more content, don't forget to hit the subscriber button. My videos come out every Tuesday and Saturday. See you soon, and thank you.